Oh,
Whoa!
hey,
This.
I
One,
see
two,
6.
three, 4, 5, 6.
That's
Yes,
true. That is the truth.
yes. Full house tonight, gentlemen.
Ha ha ha! We can count BTM. Yay! We did it.
Yes, what's up? What's up, everybody? Eric and BX here. Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Mold, episode 183. I hope that's the right number. We got a full house tonight. I'm happy. Let's just go around the yard real quick and say what's up. Let's get some hellos. The Energon Addict. What's going on, man?
I don't know, man. I'm hallucinating. It's like
You're right.
I
We
fucking
just
see
been
everybody here. I'm like, what's going on? Like, shit. Exactly.
We just been transported back in time, like you were saying.
It's like,
Feels like
yeah, it's like 2018 all
Right.
over again. No, it's good to be here, man. Good to see you. Get to see everybody's either face or name on the phone. Hear your voices. It's nice.
Yeah, man.
Hell
How
yeah.
are you? How are you doing, man? What's going on with you? How you been? I haven't spoke to you in a couple of weeks, so what's happening?
It's been a lot of up and down here. I mean, right now I'm on a high, so we're gonna keep it on that. But yeah, man, it's just same old shit. I go back to work next week.
Oh, look
Back
at
to
that.
the
Back
office.
to the
yeah.
office.
Yeah.
No more work from home.
No, I mean, it's gonna be like a two day a week thing for now.
Okay, just like
Let's
Brian.
see. Let's see
That's
what
not
they
terrible.
can get at. Let's see what they can get out of me. You know, I don't want them to get too comfortable with me coming back, but, or vice versa. I don't want to be there. But if I planned it out right, you know, maybe it could be interesting. You know, it's nice to get out too, because I mean, I've been here for fucking 2 years plus, and it's getting a little ridiculous right now. You know, the routine is just the same.
yeah.
So to switch it up a little might be nice to see new faces, and you know,
Well, just in
maybe-
general, just the getting out of the house aspect of it. Like, because I know I'm like shit. Like, I wish I had I have the ability to work from home. They just don't really let me do it. But I was like, I know if I was doing that, I'd be like, yo, I would be doing nothing. I'd just be sitting here fucking doing nothing, like working all day, but not really getting like that activity and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's good.
her wifey's not really feeling it. You know, 'cause she's going back too, but she's like, I kind of like being home, and you know, she just likes me being here, making her lunch and shit. You know,
Yeah.
she has it good. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But the same token, I got to get ready for it. So like, I've been kind of like seeing if I still fit in my work clothes. It's been 2 years, you know what I mean? So trying to put on some shoes again and
Oh my
get
god.
situated in that environment. My work attire has been pajamas and, you know, sweatpants. So
It's so great. It's so fucking great.
My clean jeans fit, so you know I wear my beat up jeans to the cons and shit. So, but my good jeans, they still fit. And to Dave, it's weird. It's weird being back. I was back yesterday. 2 days. Wait, yesterday? Yesterday was Monday. Supposed to go back tomorrow. Maybe I'll do Thursday instead. I'm in no rush.
So you get to choose the days. Just got
Yeah, right now I don't have set days. So yeah.
I see.
And Dave, as far as the clothes you're talking about, man, I got 2 long sleeve shirts that are still in good shape and 2 short sleeve shirts. So 2 days a week, 2 shirts works for me.
It's a wrap.
People are gonna see me. Oh, there's Brian's Tuesday shirt. Oh, there's Wednesday shirt.
You gotta alternate them. Make sure you alternate. Get a third one in there to throw them off.
Dude, crazy thing. I sat next to a desk yesterday. The person obviously has not been there for 2 years. Like, they had a pair of shoes that's been sitting there. There was a guy with a cup of some very, very old juice at his desk.
Man, nobody like environment.
They haven't been cleaning or anything?
Clean
Like,
that up and shit, you know. Like,
Cleaning guy's been racking the dough. He's been chilling the whole time.
Damn.
Nice.
That's horrible.
Well, Dave, back to light, back to reality, man. Right? When you said that's next week.
Yeah. Well, I told them I'd be back on Monday, so I'll go in Monday and see how that works out. See how my anxiety lets me handle being there.
Dude, it's right there, man. I'd be feeling it like if I was gone for so long. Like, oh shit, like a nice long vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you'll be all right though. You'll be good.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
You'll be all right. All right, next up, G Money. What's up, man?
Dude, it is good to see you guys. Unlike you guys, I have not been at home at all for 2 years, so it's kind of the opposite. I feel like I spent more time at work than I have back at the house. So
Then you would have liked to.
that's for sure. Yes, I'd like to stop. I'd like to stop working altogether, but unfortunately, can't
You're
quite do
almost
just
at that
yet.
age, bro.
Almost, yeah, almost, exactly. Almost.
Go team geriatrics.
We'll see. We'll see. Listen, and then I can still be Gary and get up early and drive around, right? Like the seniors do, and make people late for work that actually have stuff to do still.
Dude, I
Fogging the
freaking hate
roads.
that. I hate that.
It's
When
so
like
true.
you're in a rush, and you
Right.
find out you go and when you finally get by him, you look like, what the hell are you doing out here right now?
Where are you trying to go? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, and I am in Florida, so it's exasperated to like a bit of
you're
a higher
already there.
level. Yeah, I'm just waiting it out now.
Day by day, almost there.
Yeah. Great.
Oh man. Otherwise, besides work and stuff, everything well.
Yeah, everything is good. We had done some home improvement stuff on the house for the last few months, so that's been
Nice.
just stressful. It's like not like I'm not the one doing it, so it's still coordinating it and obviously just making sure it stays on track and stuff like that. So it's one of those things like once it's done, it's nice right now, but getting through it for the last several months has been kind of a pain. So, but yeah, everybody's good and healthy, and the cats are all good, and just kind of like I can't believe it's almost April already. It's like just crazy.
I know. The just months just flying by. All right, Big Dom, what's up, dude?
What's going on, guys? Everything's good on this side. I got my taxes filed, so my
Yes.
Uncle Sam doesn't have to come knocking on my door. Everything's good. Fun, quiet weekend. Just chilled. Celebrated St. Patrick's Day or weekend or celebration.
Celebrated all weekend.
Corned beef and cabbage, some nice beer, and just enjoyed it. So it was fun.
Nice.
Played some board games. Board games are very I know the 2020 and the whole thing brought board games back into its heyday, but didn't take advantage of that during that time. But this past weekend, played some board games with the family, and it was so much fun. Like I can't.
What you guys play?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what'd you play?
Categories, a couple other games, just real cool. Just
I'm not familiar with categories. What is that?
It's like you pick a letter, and then you get the letter you have. Then the card, you read the questions on the card, and you have to pick the word with that letter, and you guys.
So is there a pronunciation kind of thing?
No. Just the word, the letter is E, and then you get this question. The card has 12 questions, and you have to name things that start with the letter E to answer those questions, and then and their items, names, people's, places, stuff like that, and then you go around, and if you match somebody else's, your point or your point gets canceled. So you retaliate all the points and everything. So it's funny coming up with clever answers and stuff like that. One was I think it was E, and one was name an item that's in your wallet or pocketbook, and I put $11, so things like that,
$11.
Yeah. So it was fun to hang out with the family. It was me, it was my brother-in-law and my nieces, and then obviously me and Tanya were just enjoying just some board games and getting drunk. So
That's dope, man. I haven't done I mean, board games. I remember doing that like younger, like you know, with my sisters and stuff like that. But like recent times, I mean, I think what's that game like Cards Against Humanity?
Yeah.
So I did that with like my sister and my cousins, but that was like a few years ago. But I remember that being real fun. But like a Monopoly or something like that, like or categories, like oof, never.
EE's message was right, man. Monopoly is, and I will rightfully admit that, like, I'm that jerk that likes to play by the real rules, Monopoly, and like no house rules, no, you know. So you play
property, you gotta go one time around.
That's not a real rule. That's not a rule at all.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like free parking is just a space. Yeah.
And I have a 5-year-old, so it's kind of hard to do that. But
But
I do it, and I'm like, no, you little cheater, you're not fucking getting by.
Well,
you're
it's that,
like
or
everybody else.
it's like, you know, you gotta, you know, if you don't buy it, you auction the property. You know, like I'm really big about. So no one ever wants to play with me.
I'd be down. That's what.
Like you said, Gary, there's so many like, you know, fan made rules that like, you know, don't like after a while you like you don't know which ones are fucking real or not real. And obviously you can read, you know, obviously you can pick up the instruction books and read it, but it's like, you know, I've played Monopoly with so many people that like there's so many different rules.
Oh, so everybody just got their own house rules when playing the game. Like, oh, I play like this, so I play like this. If you played for real, like I don't like what is it about it that they're saying like just ruining friendships and marriages? Is it because of that? Just everybody got their own rules.
No, it's not the rules so much. It's the ruthlessity.
Yeah.
And
someone getting all the properties and just rolling up with hotels and
like a trade pressure. Trade pressure is a big one.
Trades, yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, being ruthless. I mean, you land on it. You gotta pay up. But like, if someone lands on a property and you got a hotel on it, you don't have to like jump up and down and point at their face and stuff like that. But
here's my rent.
Pay me,
hey up, motherfucker. Shit ain't free to land on my spot. I'm going to Sizzler.
What was it about the boardwalk? Everybody always wanted like boardwalk. Was that like what was the thing about boardwalk? That always seemed to be a valuable property. Is that a valuable property?
Like hotel, boardwalk, railroad, those get the most money. That's why.
Okay.
You put a hotel in Boardwalk, you're gonna be on. You're gonna the one guy that has all the Baltics or the cheap ass property. You're gonna mortgage all that shit out.
Yep.
It's funny, man. My dad, and this is totally outside the rules. He used to put multiple hotels on property.
Nope, can't do that.
You can't, but he did it because he was an accountant. He did the math right in his head. He's like, "There's how much," and he'd be like, all right, buy 4 houses, and he'd like before he put them on the board, he'd throw them in the thing and put a hotel. And he'd buy another 4 houses.
But see,
and do it again. Like,
here's the strategy to that game. You're better off to buy the 4 houses and use up all the houses that the bank has to offer. So I'm giving away my strategy to everyone who's listening. And that way your opponents can't buy the houses. They can't, because if you run out, they can't buy them unless they have enough money to move all the way forward to a hotel.
Supply and demand.
Exactly.
People start bartering for the houses that you have. And stuff. It's crazy.
But when you tear them down, you only get half of what you paid. So that's the other rule that most people don't like to pay attention to.
And when you go play Monopoly at Gary's house, there's some missing house pieces. There's only 6
only
people bring their own houses. We're playing at Gary's house.
Throw them on the board.
Honey, where's our Monopoly game? I need to bring some extra houses.
He's probably saying he's a shit talk, so he's one of those. You land on his property.
Oh, we know you're a shit talker.
Yeah,
but it's funny they say that because like
probably make fun of you buying like one of those first properties. What do you buy Baltic for?
Yeah. And like Dom, you mentioned like Cards Against Humanity, and like dude, like hanging out with you guys and stuff like that.
God,
like I've played Cards Against Humanity with some more reserved folk, and like people put stuff down. They're like, "Oh wow, oh I can't believe you said that." But I'm like, this is really tame shit compared to playing out.
That was so fun, man. Playing that, it was just you could just picture people getting offended by some of the stuff on those cards. But it was funny. It's hilarious shit.
Oh my god.
This is so raunchy. I can't even say it.
Well, nice to hear you had a good time with the fam, Dom.
Thank you.
All right, next up we got JD. What's up, dude? It's been a minute. What's happening?
Greetings and salutations. meat bags.
There
It's
it
been a
is.
minute. It has been a minute. It's been busy, and busy.
That's good, man. Busy is good. Busy is good.
Yeah. After realizing like, oh well, if we get shut down again, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So like after that 3 months of not working, that's all I've been trying to do. Schedule stuff on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep it
man.
busy.
Gots to, dude. It's an important year, man. It's an important year.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. So that's good though. It's good. Keep it busy. We miss you, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like we all
Yeah, I
got
miss you guys.
you know, we all got like stuff going on, you know what I'm saying? Like Gary, me, you, like sometimes it's half the cast here on a Tuesday night. But you know, it's all good. It's all good. Real life comes first, and look how happy we are when we all come together right now.
Hell yeah.
It's great to see.
Yeah.
Celebrated Chan's birthday over the weekend, and that was
Happy birthday.
that was a fun time. So made some lasagna.
Nice.
Kids made a cake.
Ooh, I like layers.
Chocolate.
No, spice cake with peanut butter icing.
Wow.
What?
Spice cake.
Yeah, it was
Spice cake.
It's pretty damn good.
You had me at peanut butter.
Yeah,
What's that taste like? What's the spice cake taste like?
what do you call them? You've never eaten like spice cookies?
Oh, like it's very
Kind of
gingerbready.
gingerbreadish.
Oh,
kind of.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Every time I think about baked goods, I just remember when Dave hid those cookies that Chan made in
Oh,
the
come on.
dresser drawer.
Remember that?
Come on.
Remember that, Gary?
Can you let
Just-
that go?
like-
Come
He's like,
on.
dude, watch this, and I'm like, I thought he was doing something like spectacular, and then all of a sudden, he just
Scrolled them
opens up
away.
the drawer, and he
Yep.
pulls out like 2 cookies, and he starts eating them right in front of my face. And I
He
was like,
literally like
That's my boy.
Listen. There's a lot of reasoning behind that, right? So look,
fucking
those
chicken.
cookies for one are like fucking huge. Am I wrong?
that they're
No,
not.
So
they-
like, if
that's
I was
correct.
just to put one of those in my fucking jeans, it wouldn't work out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just wouldn't work out. And you there's only so much you could eat at the party. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna store this little cookie in this drawer, and it'll be here later when I come back. And the party died down. There was nobody. It was the next day, I think, and then in the room, it was the next day, and I was like, "Yo, Dom, you want to see something cool?" He's like, "What?" I'm like, opened the drawer, pulled out the cookie. He's like, "Where'd you get that?" I was like, "I hid it."
Stashed it.
Stupid, just some stupid shit.
That's funny.
Hell yeah. How about you, Jose? How you doing?
I'm good. Same old. Work is crazy and stuff like that. That's why it's like sometimes Mondays, Tuesdays is variable for me. Just work late and then having to come home and got to spend time with the wife and got other stuff going on. So other than that though, everything is well. Can't really complain. Doing well health wise as far as that's concerned, and family and everybody else is doing well as also. So can't complain in that regard. So got to spend some time with the grandbaby over the weekend. He was here running around and stuff, so that's always kind of like a workout into itself, chasing that thing around. He's just like back and forth and stuff, so that's always fun. It's always good to see him, and Jesse keeps up with Tabby like every day. Tabby lives in Arizona, actually kind of checking that spot out over there as far as like work and certain places like to live. Like I know I was like saying I might be going to VA, but I'm like, shit, if I'm gonna relocate, maybe I'll just go somewhere where it's nice all the time. I don't have to deal with the 4 seasons,
Well,
So I don't know. I
it's
just know
sunny.
it's hot. It's hot.
It is hot.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very hot.
And Arizona doesn't have that time change bullshit, but looks like we all might not be having that.
Yeah, we all might not.
Yeah,
have to deal
yeah.
with it.
Vote,
That might-
vote, vote.
might be changing soon. I know, right? He needs to stop that bullshit already. But yeah, everything's good. So I was gonna. What the hell? I feel like I
So
lost
real
track.
quick, you reminded me of something. Chasing your what'd you say, your nephew?
My grandbaby, the
Your
grandkid,
grandbaby.
the grandkid.
Right.
I feel weird saying that because it's like I don't have like kids of my own, but it's like I would skip straight to granddad. But yeah. It's
So like our friends Daniel and Christy came over this weekend to hang out with Chan, and they brought their dog. We helped them get a Boston Terrier, and his name's Gizmo. And like the whole time that he was here, so we had to keep the boys' dogs, like Otto and Kibo. We had to keep them locked up because they were little dickheads.
They don't play well with others.
I mean, they do. It's just, I think it was just like 3 male dogs, and that was the, you know what I mean? That's the straw that broke the camel's back. But, so Maisie was fine with him, and they were like, jumping around, trying to get to playing and all that stuff. And then he meets Chewy, and Chewy's like 3 times the size of him, and like every time he got close to her butt, he would just like he's just standing there like air humping, like he wouldn't try to get on her, and it was like every time for like 30 seconds he'd be looking right at her face. Front of his body's not moving, and he's just
JD, if it worked like that for us, imagine.
right.
Just stand by the one you like and start humping the air.
Just start humping the air. It was funny.
Oh, he's just like
we were chasing him around, and it was rather amusing. And finally, by it was like 11 o'clock or something, and he finally was like starting to. I mean, he did it for a good, I don't know, 2 hours. Just did that every time he got closer. He's like,
hey, baby, he's feeling that heat.
Look what I can do.
Yo, Asia.
Good thing she's fixed.
I wouldn't even know like how she, because she just doesn't do well with others. Like she's just so used to just me and Jesse, right? That it's like anybody visits, it's like she barks, like she knows like Jesse's kids and stuff. Like when her sons come over, and like she loves them and stuff like that. But it's like if any of us are just walking around or whatever, she just barks. The kid, since the kid is kind of hyper or whatever, he might be like a little rough, so she's always kind of like running from him too. So she seems like stressed out. But just in general, like with company, she just doesn't do well. So I couldn't even just imagine if she was around any other animals. Like we already see when we take her to the vet, like she doesn't even. We try to be like, hey, like play nice or whatever. She's just like turning her head and just wants us to pick her up. She's like bougie like that, just doesn't want to deal with anybody else. So is what it is. I wanted to get into a couple of things, like some of the geek stuff we got on tap. I know Brian offered some things in the chat. I know that Kenobi, or I know all of us are into Star Wars and stuff like that. I haven't peeped that trailer yet.
Me neither.
But before getting into that, because I'm sure probably the rest of you guys have, Book of Boba Fett, didn't finish watching it and stuff like that, but I saw like just so much highs and lows when it came to that show. A lot of hate on the internet. I don't know, it seemed that it ended on like a high run, because I saw people seem like, the less Boba Fett it had, the better like it got. So I know you guys must have finished watching it. What was going on with that show? What was happening? Seems like it killed some.
The ending, Jose, was Mando was in it, so that was good.
Right. Okay.
And they had a couple surprises in there that were really kind of fun to see. Like if you were to go to a zoo or an amusement park or something, kind of fun stuff. But it's the story for Boba Fett just wasn't executed well, and
Agreed.
they couldn't hide behind the special effects and the aha moments. They just kind of missed the mark, which is, and then it's just very it's just very fun to say that the episodes where Boba actually wasn't in it were the better episodes.
Right.
But the thing is it wasn't that they were better because he was missing from it. Those episodes were actually written pretty well, and they were interesting.
The Bryce Dallas Howard episode, that was the best.
Yeah.
See, I just thought it kind of reminds me. You guys have seen we talked about Aliens before, right? Like the movies, and if you remember, like Aliens ends with Ripley, right, and the girl and Newt, right? They're on the ship, and then what happens in the Alien 3 movie, the one with the prison planet? Do you remember?
Yeah.
It's like the fucking opening credits, they're all dead, right? It's like, so it discounts everything that you just sat through for the whole second movie. And I thought that whole season was the same way. It was just this underlying story of him, these are my people now, my people, I have to do this, and I'm changing and I'm doing all these things. And then for the end, for him to turn around and say, yeah, this really isn't for me.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I don't know. It's kind of...
Yeah. Is it too much of a play on the nostalgia aspect of like Star Wars? I think I saw some people saying like,
I don't know about that.
like just because it's a character that's from that original trilogy that always seemed to have like a lot of hype around them, even though like you didn't really see much of them. I guess you have to be into all the expanded stuff, but like here was a chance. Like I saw the first episode and I thought it was all right, but then I didn't keep up, and then it was everything after that where it seemed to just go downhill with everything I saw online.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned nostalgia because the Boba Fett nostalgic shot in the arm we got in Mando season 2. Really?
Yeah,
that was super nostalgic. This one wasn't. I wouldn't say I was nostalgic, but I was like that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, ooh, I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anybody else got anything to say about it?
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was nice to get a little bit of backstory for it, but Robert Rodriguez should have never been able to get involved with Star Wars. Sorry, Jon Favreau, but because they're good friends, I guess. But yeah, I don't feel that Robert Rodriguez tells a good story anymore.
Yeah,
he had his day, and now he's it's all. Oh, I grew up and I have kids, and that's all fine and dandy, but like, your storytelling skills have suffered because of that.
I kind of looked at it like this: like when there's a series that I'm excited about, like I will remember, like, oh, hey, it's Wednesday, right, or it's Friday, and I can watch this out. And this was a series where I'd be like, wait, it came out on Wednesday, and it'd be like Friday or Saturday, and I'd kind of be like, oh, that's right. I could go watch that, when I had some downtime. And even when I was watching it, like I'd like pause it and like, oh, let me go take care of this chore really quick, right, or whatever. Yeah, it just didn't keep me in, And like it's the opposite. Peacemaker was like just a show that like, yeah, I enjoyed that tremendously. It was entertaining. Yeah, I looked forward to it, and I'd be like, oh, hey, it's Wednesday, awesome, or whatever. I think it was Thursday, right? Whatever day it was coming out, I like kind of always would know, like, oh, I got a new episode to watch, right?
Nice.
That shit was ridiculous.
Also, just shows that even a franchise as big as Star Wars is, like, that's not always gonna equate to, I guess, what people want to see each week. I guess people seem disappointed now with that. Like, has that diminished anybody's expectations for Kenobi now coming up?
Nah, it doesn't look the same. I mean, doesn't have the same like feel to it. At least the preview to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
how was the trailer? Like, how was it? Because I'll peep it afterwards and stuff like that. You can't watch it now, but
it doesn't really give away much, except that it does let you know that it's not going to be on Sand Planet the whole time, which is kind of cool. It was great seeing Ewan in outfit doing his Kenobi thing. And Jose, as far as like us feeling a little bit soured because of the aftermath of Boba Fett, the first thing I do is I go look at the writing and directing credits, and I don't recognize any of the names that were associated with Boba Fett. So I'm like, that gives me hope, right? Yeah. And so I mean, Kenobi's one of my favorites, so I'm looking forward to it. If I have any kind of reservations, I'm upset that it's not going to be a very long series.
Yeah,
Because
limited.
It's very small, very short.
Limited. Did
How
they
many
announce
episodes
how many
is it? Yeah.
I think it's 6.
Six episodes.
6 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I hope they don't try to cram too much into 6. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Tom.
I hope they're longer episodes. I hope they're like if it's a full 30-minute episodes, that'd be great. I know.
An hour.
So,
Give me hour-long episodes.
Give me 40. Like, give me more than what you were putting out with Bob. Like, I feel like the 30, like the 22, the 28-minute episodes are it's just not enough to tell a good story. Granted, Boba Fett, I know the direction that they took him is, was, unappealing for some fans, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I think it introduced some other good characters like Cobb Vance. I think his character is interesting to me because I think if Boba does pull out and do whatever he wants to do, I think he's going to be like that sheriff kind of, act type person in Tatooine. And if they do shows off of that, that would be great because I think the actor did a great job with Cobb Vance. But other than that, like I think the trailer for Kenobi is interesting because it's showing a lot of the stuff that we've seen in Rebels, so it's really interesting with where these Inquisitors are going to go, what they're going to do.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, who we're going to see, stuff like that. Like I think these Inquisitors and the FaceTime we've gotten with them in Rebels, just to see them in live action, and just they're hunting down Jedi. It's going to be pretty cool. And their interaction with Vader and everything, because there's already obviously books and lore that Vader really didn't like the Inquisitors, like he didn't care for them or whatever the case may be. So
he was the one that trained him, wasn't he?
Yeah, but like he always I think in the books they were like, he always like put him down and beat on him and shit like that.
Oh.
So like I think it'd be interesting to see their relationship and how he trained them and what he did to them and everything like that. If they even show that bit, but I'd be interesting to see. And then there's a lot of speculation that there's going to be another showdown between Vader and obviously Kenobi. But if that does happen, that would be more than welcome. I'm not going to hate it. Definitely not.
It's gonna be cool, but both of them survive it. So it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. But, just seeing them two battle it out again, and be interesting. But see if we do get that. I know that there's going to be certain. I think there's definitely going to be certain meetups that we've been long and waiting. I think the Kenobi and the Qui-Gon meet up again, whether it's a Spirit Ghost or whatever the case may they do. I think that's definitely needed, and love to see what he says to Kenobi in regards to Anakin and everything like that. So I think it's lined up to be a good one, but I hope the super duper fan base doesn't get disappointed because it just doesn't go down the road that they don't they didn't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Give it a shot. Like, we're not the directors, we're not the writers. They're going to write a story. They're going to give us a story. We just got to love it. Not love it for what it is, but just keep an open mind. Let's see where they take it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they take it down a road that we all enjoy in some way, in fashion.
I would have been satisfied with a 6-episode series of just Kenobi going to the bar, like watching TV, seeing like the Empire's exploits on TV. Oh, who'd Vader? What planet did he conquer this week? Kind of stuff. Looking at the people.
Go see what Luke's doing.
just
Yeah.
hanging out. Like, what's he eat? Like, does he walk everywhere? You know, all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm very interested.
Well, it's dope that they got the dude, that played him in the prequel trilogy, like back, like so many years later. And what's the time period? Is it like after
It's,
episode
10
3,
years,
before
10
episode
years
2?
after.
9, 10 years, something like that.
Yeah, after episode 3. So,
So
10 years. 10 years after the birth, after Anakin turned into Darth Vader.
Yeah. So sort of midway between the prequel and the original trilogy. All right, that's cool. That's cool. And is that the same sort of time period that like Mando and like Boba Fett like sort of
No.
take place in?
No,
It's way
no,
after.
that's way after.
Yeah, it's 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that's right.
And I think
Okay, so-
I think it's like 4 years before 4 years before Rebels. So it's if you watch the Rebel series, it's 4 years before that. So
Oh God, this is gonna get confusing.
No, so that's the thing. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's just so many.
you gotta remember, like when in Rebels we see Princess Leia as like a teenager. We see her at
Right.
16 years old. So like this is basically 4 years before Rebels and Kanan and all that crew, Ezra. And so it's like Kanan is around, but I'm sure he's younger. He's probably in his early teen, maybe 20 years old, 19, 20. So he is around. Is he going to show up in the show? I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
So he is around. Ezra is definitely too young to be around. Any influence. So that's the kind of stuff that we're going to see. Like Hera, like are we going to see Hera? Like are we going to see any of those characters that are in the Rebels shows because they're so close in timeline?
So Esteban wants to see Obi-Wan just wallowing in his sorrow, guilt, loneliness, dedication to that ancient religion.
In a sand hut.
See, so the thing is, right? Like since like the Disney buyout, right? Like so, it's like almost anything's on the table, right? Like because all that expanded universe stuff is kind of like thrown out, so they could pretty much do whatever they want, right? And they have like that's what 18 years or whatever, between those trilogies that they could just tell stories, and that's a long time. That's a lot of stories.
Yeah, and you got other things to write. Like you got to remember in Episode 4 when Vader and Obi-Wan does fight, he says what he says that like this is it seems like when they fight at that particular they never fought before other than the last fight that they had in Mustafar. So but you don't know that you can write that away and not right away but interpret it something differently and
retcon,
still have a battle in this show with them team tagging it off and dueling and still have what you saw in Episode 4. So
I think that would be a missed opportunity if they don't do something like that. Because I think people would expect it, or they're not saying anything, or maybe you don't expect it, but they give it to you, and then you're just like, oh shit, because that's what you want to see, a confrontation.
Yeah. So one of the things I never really dwelled on until I was watching a YouTube video about it, and someone on the YouTube video mentions like if they meet in person in this series, this could be the first time that Obi-Wan actually sees what happened to Anakin, right? Because if you think about it, right, last time he sees him, he chops 3 of his limbs off,
right.
And then the next time he sees him is in A New Hope, and it's like, oh hey, strike me down and all that good stuff, right? So if there is an interaction between them, like to see what Kenobi actually did to this guy, like here's the aftermath, you turned me into this machine, this monster type thing. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
You can see the emotion from that,
You don't look like a piece of crispy chicken anymore.
Aren't they supposed to be doing something with this dude, Hayden Christensen?
Well, he's supposed to be in it.
Right.
So
He's supposed to be in this show.
Is he in the suit, out of the suit? I've heard flashbacks. I've heard all kinds.
Flashbacks.
I heard
would
Maul was
expect
supposed to be in it, but it got written out. I haven't clicked on any of those thumbnails yet, but that's what I heard.
They need to stop with the flashbacks in Star Wars.
Yeah,
That's for me. That's what kind of ruined The Boba Fett.
Yeah, when the series was playing the back and forth with regards to his
Yeah,
time with
it's
the
like-
Tusken Raiders, and then
That's
his
what,
time.
but that story was one of the better ones in that show. It was
The-
just him. Too much Morrison was just too much of him on screen, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
But if they do it right, like Peacemaker, right, started out with like what, a 2 to 5 minute flashback at the beginning of each episode. Like that's done right. It doesn't kind of take you out of the story. It's just like boom, we're gonna touch on
Yeah,
this real quick.
that's like that was
Yeah.
like watching a Quentin Tarantino film, though. You know what I mean? There's a certain direction that takes.
Right. I'm saying if they do it right, a flashback isn't necessarily bad if you don't spend half the show doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a couple minutes, something like that.
Guess it just wasn't that interesting. I mean, was it having any correlation to what was happening, like in the present? And with
Yeah,
current?
like
Yeah, it did.
His up, his time with the Tuskens helped him, like, he can cope with the issues and like obviously gain the skills that he needed to obviously, I don't want to give the whole thing away, but like, he
He's
does.
not gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's
I'll
like
watch it. I gotta watch it.
he defeats Bane Cad Bane in regards to the skills that he learned with the Tuskens. Like he was able to, pull a fast one on him and kick his ass like, at the end. But like the thing is I love the story. I really did like the story with the Tusken Raiders. It gave a little bit more light. You remember these people were like shooting off the ridges and at Anakin's, speeder at the races, and then we got him chopping him down, but like it gave him a little bit more of a this these people are the natives of the land, and they're and all the skills and resources that he lived. It really it kind of gave him some more beef to the characters and but I just really liked that whole part. And then, yeah, it was short lived because after like 3 episodes, I think the first 3 episodes, it was over. It was done. Like,
Thank
Yeah.
they didn't get that. But I know people hated it. Some people didn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, different strokes for different folks. I saw what Brian just put up from E Prime that they haven't confirmed James Earl Jones. So, anybody feel any kind of way about that? Like, I mean,
if they don't do his
that-
voice?
But that dude is, I mean, listen, he's old, man. We ain't gonna have him forever. And does that mean
Yep.
Darth
So
Vader
what? You
goes
got the
away?
technology. You could
They
use
could do his voice without him now.
yeah, without him.
Yeah.
His voice without him.
Like,
I don't feel they
boy,
should if they have the opportunity to use them. I think they should,
Right.
But
You did.
then
like,
again,
but in Rogue
bears the
One-
question: does he even want to?
The thing too is that I don't know if you guys have in Rogue One, when he did speak in Rogue One, there was a difference. There was like it was an older voice that you can. It wasn't the same as like you would hear him from like episode 6 and 5.
Yeah,
So
because he was all animated in those original.
no.
films.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the thing too is like he was younger and his voice projected a little bit differently. And
yeah.
not saying like a voice changes over time, a lot over time, but you definitely in Rogue. I remember in Rogue One when I heard him talk to Krennic, it definitely was a different voice. Like it was a little bit different. Like it just didn't.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
didn't get that feel.
Rogue One was an eternity ago. I mean,
Yeah, I know. That's what it
true.
was.
so voice for Luke, for Mando, and for the for Mando and Boba, that's Hamill
That's
digitally
Hamill.
with his voice digitally altered. I think.
Yeah,
So,
but I guess I don't
maybe
know.
they can do James Earl Jones a little better now,
Hopefully.
or they can just buy a toy off the shelf at Walmart and have someone speak into it.
I guess
and
they
it'll
could,
work.
in a sense, yeah. Like I mean, they've done it for video games and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And it sounds decent, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like if for a movie, like we've always kind of whenever we've seen Vader, it's always been James Earl Jones, right? Like in that respect. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll feel right or no.
You know what? It's the last time. I mean, God, he's got 90 something by now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like like he's up there, man.
Just get the guy that did Mustafa
That's right.
Lion King. That guy did a great.
That's
version.
him.
Oh, funny guy.
It's a
Nice. So when's this dropping in May? I think it's supposed to drop. Is that the target date for? Or
end of May.
Yeah, the end of May. Yeah.
Nice. What else is on tap this year? Is another Mando season supposed to drop before the end of the year?
Don't know. No, we're getting what? When's the Esteban? Just tell us when everything drops. I think it's there's Ahsoka coming, and there's a Cassian Andor series. He's from Rogue One.
Something that starts next weekend. I don't remember. I don't think
next
it
weekend.
might not be Star Wars. I don't know. I forget.
Yeah, the thing that's confusing, man, is again, these stories taking place in these different time periods. Gotta
Mhm.
keep it all straight. Gotta get that encyclopedia out. Keep track of all of it. All right. Well, I want to peep that trailer, see. I always like that dude that played him in the prequel and stuff like that. So, and hopefully 6 episodes seems kind of short, but like, has anybody heard if there's any prospects of this like sort of continuing, or is this like a one and done?
Nah,
It's fun.
yeah, it's going to be a series.
They're saying, yeah, they're saying it's one and done, but with Disney,
They can't do too much though because we already know the story afterwards. So
Exactly.
I don't know.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, if the dude was willing, right? Like you could do seasons and seasons and seasons of this stuff, right? Because there's years of stories that you could like basically tell. That's the thing with Star Wars is that it's like, it spans all this time, but it's like we're getting all these little snippets of time and these actual stories that we're seeing. So I mean, why not have 5 seasons of Kenobi, you know what I'm saying? And it takes place between, like you said, 10 years or the 8 years between, what is Luke 10 at this point in the series? So, you go until he's 18 and see what
I don't know if I
doing then, like, I'm just talking like hypothetical, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if this dude is just like, hey, I'm just doing this for the fans. This is sick. I'm just doing these 6 episodes and I ain't coming back to this.
Well, this series has been like in the works forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it was supposed to come out a long time ago.
yeah.
But yeah, they finally did it.
They were talking about it.
But I don't think it would happen just because you have to remember, like, he's hiding this whole time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine this dude just being around for the next 20 years. Just, oh, look, fucking the words of a Jedi on Tatooine again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's got to kind of keep this story probably to what it is, and then lay low for the rest of the time he's there.
Yeah.
And like the only cameo that I really want to see, like surprise cameo, is the Millennium Falcon just fly through the air real quick. That'd do it for me.
Yeah,
I don't need to see Mace Windu with the C-3PO's red arm attached to him or whatever. Whatever.
So Jose, like the Han Solo movie is going, like that Han Solo movie is going, like was supposed to be 10 years after episode 3 too. So it's kind of in the same timeline with this show. So, and as you know, in the Han Solo movie, he at the end he's like, yeah, they told me about this guy Jabba the Hutt. Like he's working, so he's headed over to Tatooine. So
that'd be interesting. So we'll see the dude that
people differently. I don't think they're going to show him. I think, like Brian said, I think they're going to do a nice nod to show the Millennium Falcon just flying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Imagine they took the next step though, and like that dude was in an episode or something like that. Like he teams up
or
with
at the bar, like
I
the bar with Chewie, just drinking a beer. I don't know.
I think it would be a little much, but
yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like the ways they would try to kind of get the fans
cool.
there.
It would be cool if you see them in the background and Guido and him are just chilling.
or the guy who got his arm cut off, like if they're there just kind of hanging out.
Oh yeah. I'm
doesn't like you.
Expecting to see them just because of who they are. You know what I mean? Trying to dodging the Imperial forces and
See, that is the thing, man. But because they mentioned it, like it's true. Like he is supposed to like be in hiding, right? Like so he can't be exposed. So it's,
If you watch the trailer, it's talking about how Jedi cannot ignore their true feelings of helping, or when there's if there's a situation, a dire need that somebody needs help, that their instincts is to help. So it's trying to expose Jedi in that fashion. So I think this whole 6-part series might be where you see Obi-Wan battling with that dilemma, not helping and helping, and then realizing at the end he just can't help anymore. He has to hide, and his job is Luke, and it'd be interesting because people are predicting, like, if he does leave planet, who does he leave? Who does he keep behind to babysit after Luke? Because he can't just leave Luke alone. He has to have somebody there in his stead to watch him. Who's that person? So,
I noticed Gary's been relatively quiet. For those of you who don't know, Gary wants to see all the Jedi get killed because he thinks they're a bunch of assholes. And I know you're looking forward to that, Gary, aren't you?
You're correct in that I do dislike the Jedi, and I haven't watched the preview, so I haven't seen it yet. So we'll see. I'll keep an open mind. Try to keep an open mind.
I think Gary's going to be calling some people and going, "Hey, how can I get my hands on those Inquisitors?"
I'm kind of I don't know. I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of Maul as well.
Yeah,
spider legs.
He's
No,
he's
normal
no?
legs by now.
He has
Normal legs.
Yeah, I mean
they're
like,
obviously mechanical.
and it would totally be fan service, but to get a live action version of that final duel, I mean, I doubt we'll get that, but
his appearance, like maybe like at the end of the series, you get that little final live action scene of him approaching Kenobi, and
Oh,
Yeah,
you know
like
what?
that
That would
whole
be that
battle.
would be fun. Yeah, just at the end, after credit scene.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
that thing that you saw animated before, we'll just do it for you.
yeah, we'll just do it live.
Yeah, but if Kenobi takes place when it isn't that after Maul got cut in half?
He's alive though. He's so like Jose, like they said,
Jose.
Solo is happening
So
around the same
green.
time.
yeah, he's
So
great.
he's running that crime
Yeah, the
syndicate right now. Crimson
Didn't they-
Dawn, I think.
Didn't he have that shit when they showed him in that little hologram at the end of Solo?
Yes.
Wasn't he
Yeah.
robotic? He had his,
They're always
He
robotic.
had-
legs. It's just they're
Yeah,
more,
he had
they're more
robotic
fine-
legs.
They get fine tuner at closer and closer. Like they just.
okay.
The thing is that he's running that syndicate, like Dave said. Like he's that crime lord syndicate. That's kind of, I don't know what their agenda is, but at the end of the day, he's around, and he is searching. Like his sole purpose in Rebels was to search for Kenobi. Like he wanted to know clues and hints to where Kenobi is.
Okay.
So, and in Rebels, we do get we do see, Darth Maul's final demise, where Kenobi does end him and tell him that, tells him about Luke.
Well, thanks for ruining it for me.
Morgan says that Panda Baba, the guy got his arm cut off in A New Hope, he says he should be in an arm wrestling competition.
Yes.
Oh man! So, if I remember correctly, as Esteban said, at this time, Darth Maul is like at the height of being a crime boss.
Yes.
When we see him in Rebels, he's kind of lost everything, and he's
Yes.
on his spiritual adventure because he's a crazy man. It would be interesting if we see some seeds planted in this series, where like let's say Kenobi's watching like a hollow news report. It's like, oh, the Lord Maul crime boss, doing this and this. Like, if he could somehow enter in some kind of subterfuge into the crime family to like maybe get the ball rolling on getting him off that throne. Like that would be kind of interesting. Like if he just wants to like fuck with him from behind the scenes, that'd be kind of cool.
Like indirectly, right, Brian? Like,
indirectly, yeah. Just like get
I
that.
thought you
get
were
that
going
thing.
somewhere else with that whole dropping the seed thing. I was like, what? Kenobi goes to a bar and knocks up some alien chick or something like that. Like I thought, like,
I mean,
they were going that way.
he could have been Ray's grandfather, but they ruined that. Thanks, JJ.
Yeah.
There's still rumors about Kenobi having a kid out there. Somebody,
Mm,
I forget.
just
Hey,
drop
these days in Star Wars, I can just take people's names. I'm Kenobi.
it.
But like, I want to see him do the
Obi-Wan
mind trick
Kenobi.
again, stuff like that. You know, it'll be fun.
Just
You'll
show
be
up at
mind
a distant
tricking
planet.
everybody.
And anybody asks you who your name is, just go, it's Kenobi.
Kenobi.
Maybe that'll be something that they do
Oh, I'm
here,
Ben
like
Kenobi. Good to meet you.
whatever adventure or whatever he gets into, and maybe that's what he does, the Jedi mind trick. You know, make people forget, fucking, you know, and he goes back into hiding at the end.
Well, I think Brian definitely has like if they do plant a seed with regards to Darth Maul in this show, so they do eventually do a series with Darth Maul and that syndicate and see the rise and fall of it to where he's left off in Rebels. You know, I'll watch that series. You know,
Fuck yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
the Marvel Netflix shows have opened the door for mature content on Disney Plus.
They have.
Dude, we get a Star Wars Mafia series. Sign me up.
that's what I'm saying. Like that would be cool. And then you have that girl from Game of Thrones too. Who's that actress that you love?
I thought we
so
were
much?
getting that from Boba Fett, like a
Yeah,
mob.
too. I agree with
Oh,
you.
that's the other thing.
Mob.
Next season, Dave. Next season.
I thought that's what his show was gonna be, because like in that
So,
first episode, it was like he's talking about I'm gonna take over and I'm gonna be this kind of ruler or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I thought it was gonna be something like that, like him being some sort of crime boss or whatever, just not doing things like the way Jabba did or whatever. But I don't know.
Well, like Gary mentioned they do at the end of the season plant the seed with regards that it's not for him, and it's like so all the stuff that he did,
Amelia Clark, that's her name.
he's realizing that it's not for him, and I think he's going to pass it off to Cobb Vance and then just go gallivanting with his sniper bitch around the galaxy and just cause havoc or get the old crew back together. I don't know.
No. Is there any like kind of like from what you guys have seen so far? Do you see like sort of like an end game to like or where like any of this might be going? Maybe as far as like Boba Fett and Mando, like I don't know. It's just like it's almost like what's the point of all this shit?
In a sense, yeah, because they're alluding a lot to the Mandalorian, like the home world of Mandalore and that whole, who is gonna run it and rule it from now on kind of shit. Yeah. So that's where I think they're going. I don't know if it's going to be the Mando or Boba, because both family ties apparently to all that. I mean, I don't know, fucking kingship and all that fucking shit that goes on over there. And there's people that can speak better on it than I can, but I just know that there's like some situation going on over there where they need to reestablish a ruler and shit. And
I can see that. Yeah. And I mean, so what's her face is still after Bo-Katan. You know what I mean? She's still after all that bullshit. So yeah, I can definitely
with the writing of the fucking big fucking creed and all that other shit too. Like
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Esteban said that there is another season of Mando coming this year. And what's Andor? He put Andor. What's that? What's that show?
That's Cassian Andor from Rogue One. Do you remember him, Jose? He was he died at the end of that movie, but
like so many others.
But basically, it's like it's the Suicide Squad, right?
He was the dude with the.
He's coming up. He's coming up with the rise of the rebellion against the Empire. So that'll be kind of interesting.
He was the dude with the mustache.
His actor was in Narcos, right? Yeah.
I like Rogue One. Rogue One was good. I haven't watched it in a while, but that's probably still my favorite Star Wars movie because I just like the grittiness of it. Like like I kind of just like that. I like it. Didn't seem kiddie at all to me. Like even though the K2SO, is that the one?
Oh,
like
he makes that. He makes
yeah,
that. He's just so great.
He had the lines, that were kind of like funny and stuff like that. But other than that, like it almost didn't even feel like inappropriate. Like it just fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I liked it. It just seemed hard, and that's kind of like what I would like to see more of from that Star Wars universe. Not the
a lot of
toned down shit.
There are like there are people out there that feel like Rogue One is just like oh, well, they made a movie just to fill like a loophole in like the episode 4 where they didn't cover this fucking ditch that could explode
the exhaust port.
Well, they made a whole fucking movie to recover from the fact that they made this fucking exhaust port that could blow up the whole fucking unit.
It's a hidden fail safe,
and it's a great it's a great story. It's great that they took the opportunity to do something like that because it falls in line with the rebels and how they Jenner's and her father just basically did this just so the rebels can have a chance or somebody can just defeat the empire and this machine that they were making.
That movie only had two things wrong with it. One was the knockoff John Williams score, and the other one was the scenes with Forrest Whitaker.
He didn't like that.
His acting was way over the top, and that stupid mind, that mind,
I would
alien,
say that mind,
breeding
alien,
alien
kind of was out.
Get out of here.
Moo Ducky.
Yeah,
Moo Ducky.
I agree, Brian.
Moo Ducky.
Definitely slimy squid fucking
Boo Gully. It was Boo Gully.
That's what it was.
Boo Gully.
Northern's died to get us this information.
Well, technically, Dave, that was for the second Death Star.
That was the second Death Star. We
Yeah,
haven't gotten that story. We should get that story.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're gonna make a movie about that one.
They need to do more stuff like kind of sort of like what they did with Solo and what they did with Rogue One. Is like sort of like just explore different genres of storytelling within this Star Wars universe. Like what I'm saying? Like you could have the lighthearted fare, which was kind of like the main the main stuff that we got, like this new trilogy or whatever. Just kind of just cutesy and bouncy and colorful, and then and then you could do something like Solo, which I mean you're kind of getting an origin thing, but I feel like you got like a little bit of like espionage there, and then you got a little bit of a taste of like the cartel and a little glimpse of the high life in that universe, and it's like show us more of that shit.
Show us more of that, but leave the main characters alone. Just come on,
new characters.
New characters.
Yeah,
new characters. You do it right, it'll be great.
And sprinkle them in as like the highlights.
No,
like,
no sprinkling. Get them the hell out of here.
Get them out. Brian,
because you're ruining them. Leave them alone. As I say, as I'm anticipating a new Kenobi series, right? But I mean, come on.
But no, like I think what's missing, like with Marvel and all these streaming shows that they're doing, they also have movies coming down the pipe, and I think that what Star Wars is missing. Like I think Star Wars, they're relying on a lot of these streaming movies and series, and they don't have the movies to support it and or back it or do whatever they want to do, like Marvel's doing. So
well, there was a few movies that were in the works, but
I
haven't heard anything about them.
I think this would have been a nice, I think this Kenobi one would have been a nice but it's a 3. Like you can't fit. I'm sure they still want if it is an hour long for each of these episodes, 6 hours to tell the story. I think is more than enough time for them to do a good job with. But I know with a lot of the complaints with the movie, it's hard to tell a story within, especially something that
those parameters.
These parameters.
Try too much to
have. Yeah. I don't know. The new Batman movie just takes it to 3 hours. You know, we can
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it.
People can't even stay up and watch the
Stop.
whole fucking thing.
I still didn't watch it. Here it's quite the spectacle.
I think Dave's right. I think they're like the Ahsoka, this Mando, and I think if they do continue the Boba Fett, I think they're all going to eventually tie in to a main story of Mandalore and Thrawn and probably Ezra, and
I mean that's what the
bring it in
so
and bring it all together. Yeah, so hopefully.
Thrawn in live action would be cool to see.
yes.
I think a good what you just mentioned, Dom. I mean, if they do that, that would be awesome for the people that have, like, I guess, watched Clone Wars, watched Rebels, and sort of gets the whole backstory of everything that's going on. Like, if they give you like that, like a complete picture of that, like especially now seeing the characters in live action, like it's gonna be dope.
Yeah. For the Obi-Wan, I wish they would have used the voice actor for the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Instead, they used some other guy, and he's much larger. It doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't pull off like what the Inquisitor looked like
No.
in the cartoon. Like, so I already see memes of the the cone heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything.
Continuity fuck ups then.
Yeah. It's
It's
hard,
The live
especially with
person doesn't look like the animation.
Yeah. Especially with that guy. He was like the main antagonist in Rebels, so it's like in
The first season.
Yeah,
anyway.
the first season. Yeah. Anyway, but like he was the one that was kicking ass and taking names and someone to he was our Vader.
And like their race is all like they are like very, very spindly people. So like in episode 3 when they're on what's that, Upatar or
Utapau.
Utapau? Yeah, that one. That's what the Inquisitor is. He's
droids.
yeah, the people with all the lines down their face, and then they got like fangs, but that's what he is. But just he's force sensitive and was trained in the dark arts of the Empire.
Trained in the dark arts. Why do you think they? I mean, I thought that they did well with Ahsoka, like making her.
Oh yeah.
Cartoon to live action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zara did a great job with the mannerisms and all that other good stuff. Gort doesn't like her tentacle thing, so
Yeah, the look. Because
They're not- I feel they're not jiggly enough.
Wow.
What the hair,
feel
like
like-
whatever her hair is, or whatever. Like
Yeah, her
that.
thingies.
Yeah,
The
like-
Leku.
Yeah, the Liku.
The Leku. Yeah. They're not.
oh, there's a name for it. They have a name.
So the points at this point in her life where that comes up into the points, they're not high enough, they're not pointy enough, and the Leku should be longer for how old she is.
Yeah, I guess what in canon it's
Maybe she had a Leku reduction.
Maybe.
maybe. I think they do that on Tatooine these days.
Oh yeah.
Wide array of
Dynamic ball with her lightsaber skills.
Oh man! All right, so I mean, so I'm sure this show is highly anticipated. I know. I mean, Kenobi is he's a major character in Star Wars. Like I just imagine, there's a lot of people that are just looking forward to the show, and just wasn't sure if anybody was able to get kind of like what it's going to be about, like through what they've shown like so far. So
Basically,
It doesn't get that much.
yeah, they showed some indications of Jedi being hunted down by these Inquisitors and stuff. And
And
That's-
you get some
that's
shots of Owen.
yeah,
Uh,
You got Owen Lars, yeah.
I'm sure Screen Rant on one of them sites got the second the frame by frame trailer breakdown or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
we got the,
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
probably.
they analyze it like they got everybody analyzing like no other.
18 Easter eggs you didn't know you'd like.
No news about any like movie like upcoming, right? For Star Wars and stuff. It's just all these television shows. All right,
I
guess we'll
don't
see what
think
happens.
there's really been anything. I mean, I haven't
Mm-hmm.
really heard anything coming out. Like
guess,
I was saying earlier, there was supposed to be, but they kind of just fell off with it.
All right, and the action figure front. Like I know we got Toy-Con, right, coming up this weekend. Are you guys going through that show? I know it's supposed to be a round meetup there.
I'll be there Saturday in Wayne, New Jersey, at the PAL.
We're gonna
Yeah.
try.
Yeah, it never went back to the old place, right? In Parsippany.
No, they haven't.
No.
done
To the new one, right? Okay.
that.
I'm not making this one.
Oh,
Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to make it either.
That makes I won't be there.
didn't even pick up any mythics for you.
I don't know yet.
All right.
We'll see. I gotta see. We gotta buy a fridge. I got my carpet cleaned. It's like, springtime. It's that time of year.
Oh, you finally got that new fridge.
No, we gotta. I have to get it this week. I didn't still have it.
It's still leaking water or whatever.
Bro, that's not even the worst of it anymore, Brian. This fridge is fucking something else.
Talking back to that.
This is oh my guys, this thing's gonna come to life and kill my family tonight.
Tonight.
I'm just saying.
You know how long this bag of lettuce has been in me, you motherfucker.
Oh God, no.
Talks to you while it's crushing your ice and shit.
These fridges, right?
Crushed ice, Your Highness.
Not to make this a long conversation, but what happens is there's something that tells the refrigerator, the freezer portion of it, to a sensor. And if the sensors constantly go out. So this has happened to this fridge twice already. This is the third time. So we said, you know what? We're not going to fix it. We're going to buy a new one. But it's been going on for 2 months, so we kind of left it the way it is. So what basically is happening is things are like freezing in the back of the freezer, like the back of the fridge,
Oh no!
pushing everything from the back forward. So I had to get rid of a lot of my shelves and stuff because it's building ice blocks in the back. So unless I fucking chisel it and sit there for hours and chisel it,
Chiseling your fridge.
which I don't tend to do because I don't want my food to spoil. It's a mess. It's a fucking mess. Oh my God.
Wow.
That sucks.
Dave's gonna wake up one morning and his whole house is gonna be Hoth and just look out the front window. There's gonna be fucking walkers and.
Honey, wake up the tauntauns.
It's funny you say that because there's a small portion of the fridge that looks like Hoth. It's all frozen over, with ice and shit. Yep.
Get your action figures out, man.
Yeah, man.
Take some
Time to
pics.
play. Take some pictures.
Bird. I remember I used to freeze. My
Just
fingers.
put your Imperial droid. Put your Imperial droid right next to it.
Used to throw my GI Joe in a cup and would just stick it in the freezer.
I used to do that too, man.
Frozen in a block of ice. And then it was just fascinating to just run it under the water, like to get.
Holy shit, man! I used to do the same thing, and I used to look forward to it too, because I do it while my parents are still sleeping. Friday night, you sneak them in the freezer. Saturday, like, I can't wait to thaw them out.
I shouldn't be doing this.
You're awesome.
Oh, yep. See, E Prime saying it too. Great figure photography opportunity. That's the next. Putting your figure in the microwave. Put your figure in the freezer. There you go.
Hang Luke from the top of it. Yeah, you're good.
Oh man, is there anything like? I know you guys usually do like mythic pickups and stuff. Is there anything new supposed to be dropping at that show, or is it just same old shit?
Same old stuff.
Nothing new. Yeah. So for those of us who went to ZoloCon, it's probably gonna be that same kind of
Same shit. Yeah.
same figures.
Same
which
batch.
Is, yeah, they're All Stars 4 wave. whatever they've still got in stock, they'll bring to that show. But we did get some Mythic news today. I think it was they're dropping something for Cosmic on April 2nd. So can't wait to see what that is.
You guys weren't really in on that Cosmic stuff, though, right? I know you.
I went in.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I,
went in?
I did not. Yeah.
Not either.
they just need to slow down. Like, get some of this other stuff out. Like,
The whatchamacallit. And tomorrow night on the Mythic Conversations YouTube channel, hosted by Jeremy, he's going to be alluding to what's going on in the All Stars 5 wave, which voting is going on for right now. So I think they're throwing some twists and turns in it. So if you're a Mythic person, tune in tomorrow there.
You still campaigning, Brian?
So first round of voting is done. I think next round it's got to be soon, right? But it's getting hairy for the figures that you want. There's not going to be many spots open, so get out there and campaign for your figure.
Who you campaigning?
Don't get
for,
stuck
Brian?
with a glowing blue skeleton. Not one of those.
Did any of you guys get was it the D20, the big wolf? That's
yeah.
Mythic scaled.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
yet.
You got it already?
Yep.
What do you think, Dave? Is it good?
I love
Is it
it.
worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about dropping it from my pot from my pre-order list.
I think it's worth it. I think it's. I got it from 5K Toys.
Uh huh.
I think I paid $155, $160 for it.
You got the deluxe, right?
Yeah,
Well, that's the only one that's out right now, I think, right?
I think it's cheaper than what BBTS has it up for.
And what color?
Mine's
did you
the gray with like the brown undertone.
Okay. Yeah, you did the gray one.
white skull with the white skull. Comes with like the white skull armor and all that extra shit.
I did not go in on it.
And who is?
I saw some reviews and people were like, "It's okay. It looks good." Yeah,
Right. It looks good. It's
How's
it
it
is
function?
pricey. And it functions well and it's solid. It's heavy as fuck.
You said it's a wolf.
If it was $100, I'd be happier. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
As opposed to the price that it's at now. But
No.
it's dope.
yeah. That's the biggest complaint I hear is
Ooh, yeah, that looks kind of crazy.
the price. I mean, that's pretty much why I didn't go in on it.
I mean, looking at it, I mean, it looks
200 up.
good, but like the size of it and stuff. I mean, if you're paying 35 or so roughly for Mythics, like at retail, then yeah, that looks like it shouldn't be more than 175 even. I would say like it's not
Yeah.
huge.
I mean, a
It's
troll's
not bad.
bigger than that thing.
Hmm.
That's the regular one. Basic version. That's the
Yeah.
one I
This one?
yeah.
They got these in stock. Yeah, shit. They do look crazy though. Look perfect for Mythics. This isn't a part of like Mythics, right?
No, but it was made to accompany it because that's how they kind of advertised it.
Okay.
Like anytime you saw it like either with one of those or a Mythic.
Damn, that is pretty. I mean, it does look pretty big though. Detail is there. I mean, it looks good. I mean, pricey, but it looks good. I think that's. Got the detail with the fur and the sculpting. and
Cheaper than a Fans Toys figure these days.
everything. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. So I don't know which one to go with. I want to get one. I don't know if I'm gonna go with this one or this one.
I'll go with the
Go
gray.
one of each.
Yeah,
Why
Yeah,
not
both? Why
I
not
know
both?
both, Brian.
If they ever drop the price, like to like $60-$70, I get another one.
Yeah.
Wait for that Thanksgiving sale, bro. Just patience saves
Yeah.
pockets. You know, like I was able to get that. Was it this one? Is it the white or is it the black version of that? The Make Toys, that Buster Skywing or whatever. Like that thing was like
yeah.
I think it was like $150, like for the longest time, and I'm like, nah, man, this thing is nobody's buying this. It's years old. I'm sure like a holiday sale will drop, and I waited, and it dropped, and I got the fucking thing for like more than half off. I think. I think that was like the last piece I needed for whatever Make Toys put out for that line. So
I remember you wanting that and wanting it for like your birthday or something, but it wasn't out.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. That's when it was. They were still putting them out. I'm still missing that line, man. That Galvatron that they showed. I think there was a couple of renders of some other ones.
Yeah, the Seekers with Dinobot parts and shit.
Yeah, man. Potential was there, man. So sucks. What we just get is this masterpiece shit.
I mean, I'd be okay if they would like finish the Headmasters and then just fuck off.
What is it? What Headmasters do they have left to do?
Brainstorm, the helicopter,
and what's his name?
Highbrow.
Thank you.
I'd get a Brainstorm. He turned into a cool jet.
Those are always, let's say, like those are always left last. Those two. I feel bad.
Left last. It's been forever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think Fans Project did the same thing, or did they? Forgot who they did last. I can't remember.
They definitely did Highbrow last, I think.
Yeah, Highbrow was like kind of like the last of all.
It was
Brainstorm. I think they did second. Right? That was the transformation that shocked the world, right?
Actually, Fans Project never did Hardhead, did they?
No,
nope.
They never did Hardhead.
I think that was the only one they didn't do.
They didn't do that one. Yeah, they didn't. Is Make Toy supposed to be like done though? Like to me, it's like why? Like if you have some of those characters out, like it's like another company should just kind of sweep in and just kind of finish it off. Like same style, same aesthetic. You know, like
they're teasing more Seekers now for exclusives for conventions. That's it.
Yeah, that's it, right?
I think so.
Milky molds.
If you people are looking for Seekers, help them out so that we can get the Headmasters. Because I'm not fucking buying them. I'm not buying those fucking Seekers.
That's a hard play, man. With Deformation Space out right now, Deformation Space already got them. They just got to paint them different colors.
Yep.
And I mean, Deformation Space kills anything that's out there right now.
Yeah, their stuff looks really good.
They're so nice.
Got to see one of those like at one of the last meetups we did like sometime last year. Forget what show it was. I think it was RetroCon, if I remember correctly. Was able to see that figure in the parking lot. It did look nice. It did look nice. Actually like seeing it in person. Not for me. I'm not collecting that masterpiece scale anymore like that. But I could see like why Dust is like, yo, these shit's so dope, and I think they got them all now, right?
He's the one that got me,
They did the 3. So the cone heads are next, and even if they do the cone heads, and if it's like a different design or anything like that, we don't know yet. So.
How are you guys feeling about that? What was was it X Transbots or KFC that showed the new Devastator or whatever, or like the Constructicons?
Yeah, XTB and
XTB.
There's another company that
Toy Mecha.
Yeah,
more than one? There's more than one?
Oh shit. God, there's another Devastator war?
There's two.
Yep.
Two coming out.
Fucking shit.
The XTB.
They survived the first one.
I'm seeing prices for one XTB limb. I've seen it in some places 150, other places 160.
Mm-hmm.
So multiply that by 6.
Jeez,
God knows.
that's crazy.
God knows if it's if you got to buy like the combiner parts separately. Who knows?
Like that's $7.
Yeah, I mean the Tour World bots retail when they first came out were $100 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
That was
they released them 2 at a time.
16.
They did.
Yeah, 16. Yep.
So from the X Transbots, from the renders I see, it looks like they're going to be painted. Tour World ones aren't painted. They're a little. They're not a Fans Toys or a Takara figure, right? So,
No.
but they're pretty good. They're really good, right? The extra what Keith's been putting out lately, I mean, he's painting all his stuff and everything, so I'm expecting some high quality Constructicons here.
Yeah.
Devastator to me has always been really, really interesting. You know, him fighting the Dinobots and stuff like that, and just whipping the Autobots' ass. They always had to come up with weird ways to take him out.
Yeah.
Mind control and stuff. I remember didn't they remote control him at one point, something like that. But as yeah, so I'm excited to see it. I don't know if I really have the energy to go chasing after these. Like, I would rather see them all released all at once and then go do it, because that's how I like to do combiners. But that's not how you can do Masterpiece combiners nowadays. You got to buy that stuff ahead of time, or you're going to miss out on a win.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know.
No more box sets, Brian? No more box sets?
I mean, the only people that put out box sets for Toy World and Zeta. And we haven't seen Keith do one for his. DX9 went out of business before they could put one out. Yeah, that's it. And Fans Toys never finished a combiner. So, yeah, I guess no more box sets.
Right, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I know we got like a lot of the Constructicons in the past and stuff like that, but that render that I remember seeing, like, now this actually like looks like in line with what you're kind of getting with Masterpiece. Like, the Toy World stuff is huge, and you got this big giant combiner on your shelf, but that's not really Masterpiece aesthetic. Like, I wouldn't call it that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just big. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, like, from that render, I'm like, oh, okay, this looks like those figures would just fit right in.
The Toy World one, that was more of a Studio Ox look,
which is the style I kind of like more.
Yeah.
Like, I loved the way they did the double elbow joint where the forearm split apart, and they did that with the thighs too. It's very, very cool. I'm really interested to see what Keith comes up with. Like, just looking at the alt mode for that Scrapper, that was a real world alt mode. That wasn't a cartoon alt mode, right? Which gives me hope for something like really kind of neat. So I don't know. See what he pulls off.
Do you think, like, based off the way like the figure itself looks in bot mode, that the combined mode might be something similar to like maybe what we've seen with the like New Age, like kind of like how it looks real, kind of more cartoony, that cartoonish look to it, like
Maybe. Yeah.
That's kind of it. Like, you're gonna start investing in these individual bots, and then the make or break of it is going to be the combined mode and how it looks, how it feels, and if it could actually stay together. So it's that we've been down this fucking road so many fucking times. So.
Well, so far for the Masterpiece combiners, we have gotten, the companies have been good enough to tease us what that final form is going to kind of look like. Yeah. So hopefully, Keith doesn't delay too long and just be like, dude, here's what the Devastators are going to look like. So get on board, I would be tempted to get an orange one, though. I think that'd be cool.
An orange one.
Was that a G2? Or the yellow is G2?
The KB Toys G2.
This is KB.
Like I said, it's gonna, for me, it's essential for Keith to put out something of the combined mode before that first one hits in stock, and so people kind of get somewhat of a confidence. And if I'm going to invest $150 right off the first one, and then pre-order the second one, I'm going to have somewhat of a look of what the combined mode is going to look like.
No.
So I find it interesting. Nobody has any reservations after the extra Transbot Stunticons.
Memories are short.
I'm just right. It was like
I made a graph for that.
Yeah, because
Gary, I bought one. I bought the first one, and that's it. So,
is anybody in for the XTB Protectobots?
Nope, I didn't get any of them.
I'm not either.
Okay, just to say, because it seems like those first two have been like kind of like extreme polars, right? The Nissan, the Streetwise was kind of pretty meh, and then the motorcycle was pretty decent. It looked like so.
Yeah.
But Keith's track record with combiners doesn't seem so strong.
Yeah, gotta nail that that combined mode, and if you don't nail it, it just isn't. Consumers don't have. If you are a collector that likes to display like those combiners and or have a display where there are individual bots and stuff like that,
Fans Toys Combiners. Fans Toys Combiners. In theory, you get one option, which is like single team members.
And now we're still waiting, right? Like you said, like they haven't put out anything full, right? We got some.
They haven't finished any teams.
Stunnicons, yeah. It's like that's so weird. Like, is it just that they I don't know.
No,
like,
I heard.
we'll give you the individual bots, but you guys, you're not going to be able to put this guy together.
I heard they're spending more of their efforts in chasing down KO companies putting out their product. They don't have time to finish their combiners.
Is that the other thing now? Like, didn't we touch on that? Like, so what's the whole thing? Because I think we touched on it yesterday, right? Is that there's a new Cyclonus coming out? A Cyclonus, they're a new company, and it looks just like theirs.
Yeah. So yeah, someone
Not only
dropped
that, there's another one too, right?
Well, there's the X Transbot one, and then
We
there's another.
the Weird Wolf or whatever.
Oh yeah, today. So all right. Let me run this down and then correct me where I'm wrong.
Sorry.
We saw Monday morning a tease for a Fans Toys Quietus, which is Cyclonus KO, which I don't know if we got the price for that yet, but that was that. And then a little while later, someone posted, and it wasn't an official post. It was just someone typed it out on their post, and it said, "Fans Toys is warning retailers, don't carry this KO or we're cutting you off." And take that as you will. Discussions commence. And then today we saw possible KO of Fans Toys Lupus, which is Werewolf, which has been very, very scarce and in high demand for people looking to complete a collection and things like that. And I think that's the news, right? So discussion commence.
Fucking give that Lupus away at one point.
Yeah, I was gonna say nobody liked it, and now everybody wants it.
And now everybody wants it. Like,
I love that figure.
My wife comes into the room sometimes and she's curious as to like, hey, what has went up in value and stuff like that. And I'll be like, you'd be surprised. And I showed her that, and she was like, that yellow thing? She couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
She's like, out of all those robots, she was like, that one? She was like, I can't believe it. I was like, yeah. What is it, like $600-700 right now?
Holy smokes!
That's crazy. Shit.
Am I right?
Sell.
Dude, seriously. Because listen, I mean, what was Tesla 1.0 selling for 6 months ago before the reissues were coming out? It's like $500-600 for that guy.
Yeah. I've definitely done a disservice to myself by not selling my collection when I should have. But that's just not who I am. But anyway,
Unicron still getting 1300.
Hey there, Obi-Wan.
Still got mine.
But with the Fans Toys, obviously,
The Jedi are lies, Brian.
that's right. Then you really are lost, Dom. Yeah. But anyway, the groupthink and the echo chambers just come out, right? Everybody loves to see the people at top lose, right? That's just the thing.
It's true. You got Target.
Everybody, it's like,
Just hate.
Like remember when the Patriots would lose the Super Bowl? People lost their damn minds.
Well,
But
Giants fan, yeah.
but it's like, oh man, the guys at the top are having issues. But it's like, so obviously you see the comments. It's like, oh, isn't it kind of funny that a company that deals in IP theft is complaining that people are stealing their designs? And then you see stuff. It's like, no, you have to protect the small guys because they can't afford it when people rip them off. But it's okay when Takara and Hasbro get ripped off because they're large and they can afford to get ripped off. And it's funny because don't you feel like you're in a time warp Like, here we are back in 2008 with 6 windows on my screen. I feel like I'm back in 2014 arguing with people like third party versus KO. Like, are they the same or are they not? I don't know. It's like it's but yeah, and then shout out to Chuck. He was sharing pictures someone shared of supposedly someone was weighing the 2 Cyclonuses and the KO was lighter and stuff like that. And I'm looking at this and I can't help but notice, but they're 2 separate pictures with 2 separate figures on 2 different scales. And I'm like,
this can't be accurate.
You know, I mean, and then Chuck jokes at me and he says, well, come on, the guys making the K aren't going to have the real one. They can't afford that.
He DM'd his rich friend that has the real one to put him on a scale.
That's right. Oh man, so yeah, it's funny.
God.
I mean, I'm sitting here joking because I got one, so like I really don't. I'm fine, and I got this for 160 back before prices were you know, super insane.
Oh my god, so much.
So I mean, this thing's going for $320 retail right now. 300.
That's crazy.
Like, wow. And that's not aftermarket. That's like retail price. So it's insane. However, they are re-releasing this one for $220. But I got the bluer one, and then there's the more purple one, depending on your sensibilities. I like this one better. It goes with the Galvatron better. But anyway, I feel very happy that I don't have to worry about this, because if I was somebody that needed a Cyclonus for my collection, I might be happy that there's KO news going around. I might be happy about that.
Listen, man, if you have the option to get something that's pretty much the same or looks the same, pretty good quality. Remember, for years we talked about like how the game was changed with KOs and these companies putting out a better product than the original, and it's way cheaper. That's very enticing and still enticing in this day and age. I'm sure to a lot of people, especially those that missed out on these original pieces. I'm sure would have happily picked them up if they, you know, at the time. But if this new company, KO company, whatever it is if that's your option and it's $200 cheaper, it's a no-brainer. Man.
Yeah, and then you got to give it up to this KO company. Like, you know, some of these KOs take the short end of the stick and just like, you know, produce the same thing and makes it cheap and you know, it falls apart. Like, so if they're doing their homework and actually making a good figure and keeping, obviously not paying the cost of what they need to pay when they're the originators of it, and they're doing what they're supposed to do, then it becomes a threat. Like, you know, it's not like the old KOs where it's just, you know, it's cheaper material, it falls apart, and you know, things don't fit into where it's supposed to fit in, and it's like, you know, there's a reason why it's cheaper. If that's not the case, then yeah, there's definitely a threat to these other companies that say these guys are bringing their A game, and they're not just giving you a cheap piece of shit for $100, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and not for nothing. I mean, when it comes to the Fans Toy stuff, like I know that they command a larger price than others. And if you get one, and if you're one of the fortunate ones like me who gets one and doesn't have QC issues, parts missing, things like that, like I am very satisfied with my purchases. I really, really am. So for a KO company to put one out like this quality, like until I see it, I'm not going to believe that that's going to be the case. You know, kind of thing. You get what you pay for in some regard. You know, and Dom, even as you mentioned, like those old school KOs, some people are just happy with that, right? Because they want that representation.
True, exactly. And that's, but like you said, Ryan, it's what you pay for. So if you're buying a KO from like $80 when it sells really $180 from the original manufacturer, then like, you know, I'm not looking at, you know, I'm not looking to make it the, you know, 100%, you know, what it's supposed to be, but for $80 I'll take it. It can sit on my shelf and represent that character nicely, and I don't have to bust my, you know, go rob a bank to basically buy the original figure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially-
because they did all the hard work for you.
Yep.
They did the stealing for you. Oh man, I mean, it's been a minute since I picked up one of those like kind of KOs, you know. So I don't know if quality is still up in that regard. I mean, it's been a while, but I mean, I remember. I mean, I think the saying was just wait for the KO, right? To a lot of people in the community when it came to this stuff, because it's like it was just gonna come out. It was expected, and for a good while there, it was better.
But I mean, and even back then though, like KOs, I mean, the price cost was significant. Like with the KO, like nowadays people are putting out KOs, and it's like they're almost charging, you know,
Close to the retail, right?
yeah.
Yeah. It's like steadily they're like, hey, we could be making more money here.
Well, that's the case when, like, you know, when a figure is the original figure is sold out, and now it's like, you know, $300, $400 on the secondary market. Now KOs are pushing the ceiling and selling it like for what the original retail is, and when, you know, like, you know, at the retail price of that figure, and it's like, you know, obviously it does make a little sense, but like, you know, like it's crazy how the secondary market just the pulls or demands so much in regards to where companies move their pricing and what KO companies do what they do. So and it's everywhere. Like, you know, it's not just Transformers. It's sneakers. It's fucking Funko Pops. It's everywhere. Like the knockoffs are, you know, purses. Like it's just everywhere. So what you have to deal with when you're a company and you do establish a brand loyalty, and you're able to drive, you know, mark up your prices for that recognition, and then all of a sudden you're going to have some company coming out of the woodworks to fucking knock off your figures and get a little, you know, and, you know, that's just kind of how it works.
Looking out for the little guy.
Yeah, well, hey, fucking Sure Fans Toys is making their fucking money. You know, I don't think they're eating ramen noodles every fucking night.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
They got their
It's
steak.
just agreed.
You know?
It's just agreed because they see what the aftermarket is, so they're like, "We're gonna get that. We're making this product. We're gonna get that ourselves."
Yeah.
Like, why is?
Ryan said, I don't know, like it's not official. Like, I'm assuming that statement that put out that they're telling vendors not to sell. You know, we're not going to sell our items if you're selling these KOs on your site.
They can't catch everybody,
Right? But
I don't think it's official.
Yeah, years ago, something like this happened. I can't remember what figure it was, but I remember seeing something similar like this years ago, where Fans Toys said something like, "Hey, don't carry this, or we're cutting you off."
It was that other Shockwave.
Was it?
Yes,
remember, because it was
Wake Blast, was it?
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Because I mean, and kind of back then, you know, you had a lot more of these little retailers around, and Fans Toys was bank day. You know, it's like, oh, there are new Fans Toys coming. You know, charge whatever. You make your difference, and yeah, man, that was good for those sellers. But it's like nowadays, I don't know how much clout Fans Toys has, since they don't put out as much. I don't sell. I'm not in the retailer business, so I can't say that for sure.
You don't know what type of tool or is it.
You're dependent on those retailers.
Yeah, and these retailers. But these retailers have brought in their horizons. They're not just dealing in third-party Transformers anymore. They can't. They'd starve to death. They're doing all kinds of stuff now. So
right.
I would think that, you know, not participating in a Fans Toys release might not sink them. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, when you're only putting out, like, you know, what was it? They pull out like what, maybe five figures a year, if so. So it's not.
Hey guys, I gotta bounce out. I didn't realize it was quite so late.
Oh, we're having so much fun, Gary. Forgot to do it.
I know, right? It's like you gotta start all over again tomorrow. But
yeah,
it was great to hang out for a little bit and kind of just listen, catch up.
Yes, sir.
Bye, Gary.
All right, cool. I'll talk to you guys.
All right, we'll catch up soon, man.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
It's funny. It's funny because the thing is that it wasn't the perfect fusion line for Fans Toys was going to mediate this issue where they're going to offer you these these classic toys that they've done in the past and at a lower cost with lesser die cast or whatever, or lesser design and you know, with their paint, you know, job that everyone loves, but they didn't continue it. They didn't.
No, they did.
And
They,
and the funny
they
thing,
did cesium, and that was it.
yeah, the funny thing, their quietus was first teased with
Teased
the
as
perfect
that.
fusion.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they you know, so it's like, I think it's a little bit of greed there, and not them. You know, I'm not picking on Fans Toys. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's other ways to.
Why not? They pick on everybody else.
Like, there's other ways, like, to mitigate this issue, and I think, you know, telling your vendors that have helped you so much gain the loyalty and the brand recognition that you've accomplished is, like, you know, a slap in the face of those vendors. Like, I feel like if that was an official statement, I think it would be like, you know, if I was a vendor, I'd be like, what? You know, I fucking helped you. You know, I sold your shit. You know, yeah, I benefited from it too, but, like, you know, it's a mutual, you know, it's mutual beneficial on both
part
parties.
of it.
Like, they're not four horsemen. They're not selling the, like, Fans Toys is not selling this shit off the website, and they're doing the distribution, and they're doing the shipping, and they're doing all that shit. They're not doing that. Like, so
You're
it's
right.
like, you gotta be loyal to these vendors who are, you know, getting it to your customers.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's interesting too. Like, you know, I just thought about it. If you are a smaller vendor, think of all the Fans Toys pre-orders that are out there right now, and maybe you've taken deposits and stuff.
Mhm.
Now, what if you put this KO up and Fans Toys says, "That's it. We're not sending you the stuff that we promised we're sending you now." It's like, what if those people don't have the money to pay back those deposits or something like that? That would be kind of messed up too. I guess that would cause some issues. But
Yeah, and I'm
but-
sure.
I mean,
A specific vendor to vendor, they're going to have to, you know, if it is an official statement out of them, that they're going to have to assess whether it's worth for them to put a KO like this on their site. So,
right. You know, it's funny. It's like with all the ramen toy stuff with the Centurions.
yeah, like, oh, Robin is great.
Well, the funny thing is I never heard anything regarding IP infringement on the Centurions.
No.
Nope.
Like, no one, I never heard it brought up in any conversations, saw in any posts or anything like that. It's only with the Transformer stuff do I see this kind of stuff. You know, it's
Yeah.
interesting observation, or maybe I didn't look too deep into the post enough to find that. But
Centurions is like a dead brand, though. Like, no, like Transformers is around and in the public eye.
Like
I
that.
mean, Hasbro owns it.
yeah,
Oh,
Hasbro
okay.
is on it. Yeah,
That might be
Oh,
a factor, Jose. It's definitely a factor, Jose, because you're absolutely right. There are other companies making masterpiece toys, and it's out there, and it's very live in front of your face. Where Centurions, it's like, I don't give a shit who's doing it, who's stealing it. Just fucking do it. Give me a toy. Let me go. I don't care if I have to go down a back alley and.
Yeah, it's because we haven't really gotten anything from that. So it's, I guess
Exactly.
people are just more open and accepting of it. You know, like give me.
I mean, it would be interesting though. What if a Hasbro or something like that told other retailers, but like, look, you carry these third-party products, and we're not going to let you carry our stuff. You know, that would be interesting. Because
That's my point. Like, you don't see them doing that. Like, I think the only one.
well,
that,
they're too big, Dom.
hurt
They're not
themselves.
taking the financial hit.
They won't feel it. They don't
Yeah.
feel it.
Well, you know, listening to the old days, like Shattered Cast, you know, Robert D. He dabbles in the law, right? And one of the things he mentioned was he's like, the third party and the KO stuff is so rampant. Like, KOs for one thing. KOs are carbon copies, they're facsimiles, right? That's one thing. We can get to that later. But the third party stuff, if you think about it, I mean, these are their own designs. Sure, they're borrowing the IP, but
Well, yeah.
they're making their own figure, you know, kind of thing. Like for Hasbro, borrowing for Hasbro, like from what he had mentioned, it would be so expensive for them to try
Exactly.
to run down all of these IP infringers, right? It wouldn't be cost worthy enough to handle all that from a legal aspect, you know, to try to show
paying
these people
lawyers
down.
as much as what you would, you know, you gotta. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. The company has to
Yeah.
look at it and say, how much money am I going to spend to hunt these people down and stop them to doing what they're doing,
Right.
or should I just take that money and just focus on what I'm doing and just do it better, or try to get low cost items into customers' hands so they don't have to buy the fucking KO. You know, those are the things that you would rather spend your money or your efforts in.
I mean, when the Stunticons, the XTB Stunticons first started coming out, that's what Keith did to combat.
Exactly. Like, he didn't tell vendors,
how do you
like,
make up for that, of course.
if
But
you sell this KO, I'm gonna fucking stop shipping my shit to you. Like, you know, you don't do that. Like, you don't.
So-
It could be a bluff, a threat. You know what I mean? Like just
I know
you
what
know.
it is. Yeah.
So Jay mentions BBTS pulled down third-party stuff. That had to have been years ago. I'm guessing that maybe that was a thing. I remember when BBTS, they wouldn't put up third-party Optimus Primes. They would stay away from those like that. And
The
then
Prime, that's the Optimus Primes.
Yeah.
Because it's so blatant, right?
and EB says that Hasbro did warehouse raids. You know, that was another thing too. I think I remember the SC guys talking about when it comes to those movie renditions, like they might have some additional fuel to hunting that stuff down because like Paramount might like co-own the designs or something. So yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to the movie stuff, I think they were more close to the chest with that stuff because that was the mainstream. That was what they were putting out, and that was their bread and butter. And you know, they didn't want anybody fucking with that shit, so they came out full short. If you want to do an '84 Optimus Prime, a Bumblebee, and a fucking a little penny bug, yeah, fuck that, you can do it, but don't touch the Camaro. You know, don't do that.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, you know, it's funny that we're having this, like Brian said, it's funny that we're having this conversation now again when it's like, and I like, and Dave, like that threat, like that the thing is that you have these guys who are on these fucking threads who are gonna like you put a threat like that out, you're gonna have everybody and their mother in the word work that like they're gonna come and just. And they're sometimes they're most of the times they're the minority. Like nobody's coming and saying or playing coming out on the other side of the fact. They're just these minority, like these people who might be the minority are going to speak the loudest, and they're going to fucking bitch the most, and that's what you're going to hear more of the time. Not the other people who are just going to sit back.
Yeah, but what's the argument? Like, really, like you're fighting over a KO that you haven't even seen yet.
Exactly.
Like it hasn't even been made.
Like, you don't even know how good it is. Like,
right.
It could be where you're spending.
But what Fans Toys is doing is they're trying to shut it down as fast as they can, from as far as a distance as they can by just saying, hey, if you don't fuck, if you buy this fucking thing, I ain't fucking with you, right?
Yeah.
They may do nothing, absolutely nothing about it, or could, or it just that alone, already just sends a message.
It does, but I feel my perception is why stir the pot? Like why bring it more to attention? Like let it die where it's going to die. Like just let it. Like let's see where.
Because that other company might think twice now and be like, you know what? Like, should we invest X amount of money into making these things or not? Like, what if nobody buys them?
Oh yeah. Because they won't be able to sell them. Yeah.
Or you can pull a book. You can pull a page out of Ramen Toys and just fucking go to Facebook and just start selling your shit.
Yeah, there's that.
There's a market.
But the difference between Ramen Toys and this is Ramen Toys is its own thing. This is a copy of something else, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting combo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, I think like for them to say something like that or threat like that, I don't think that's really something they're gonna follow through on because you're just limiting yourself and the product you're selling. You want to sell as much as possible, right? What happens if all the retailers band together and like, fuck you, we're gonna sell what we want.
But the funny thing is, it's like what? I mean, come on, guys. What the mainstream retailers like? I don't see them carrying KOs. You got to go buy that stuff off eBay. Or what was that one place, Sir Toys? Does that still exist? Like, Other than that, I've not seen KOs for sale on like the main websites that I see advertised around. So
I don't know. The Show Z,
Show Z and
Z
Show
Store
Z and TF Direct, but those are the
TF
only.
Direct.
Those are the sites you gotta go to though. It's
Show
those
Z
type
has
of sites.
KOs on it.
I think they
Oh,
do.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Show Z.
So,
But
But then we advocate sometimes. You to save a couple bucks, you want to go to some. You can go to these vendors who offer like a little cheaper rates, or with even shipping overseas, it's going to be cheaper. And it's like these are what these vendors offer. Like these Show Z's and like these other lower vendors sometimes give you a better rate than going to these higher vendors who you're going to pay a markup for it.
true that, and like I mean, here in America, right? I use like 4 or 5 retailers, but I mean, overseas, out there in China, I mean, I'm sure there's a big market for this stuff out there too. So maybe that message is for all those small retailers out. Small people, listen to me. Sorry, didn't mean to say that.
Little guys.
Right, small
Watch it.
small retailers out there. I don't know, man. If I was a third party Transformers, I'm telling you, man, I would get in with the Chinese triad, the mafia, right? And then basically, you pay them protection money. You see someone stealing your designs, you call them, hey, Tony, or whatever the equivalent is. I need you to go take these guys out.
they stole my toys.
Stealing my designs.
All right. Well, we'll see how it plays out in the future as we get more information on that piece as it comes. We'll see. We could probably revisit this. It's getting a little late, so I think maybe we should wrap up the live portion. Of course, we always continue unbroadcasted. So I'll throw the link out in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group. If anybody wants to hop in, bullshit for a little bit, y'all can hop in. With that, let's go around the yard and get some where you at, and we'll call it a night. So, Dave, I'll start with you, bro.
Yeah, here on Tuesdays, Instagram and a John Addict, and thanks for watching.
Yes. Big
Thanks
Bob.
for being here. Thanks, Dave. There we go. I'm in the same household at least.
All right, Dom.
You can find me here Tuesdays on Facebook, Dominic Rosso, and I will be at Dave's house with my Snoopy snow cone machine, grabbing ice out of his refrigerator because he has plenty of it. And we're going to be making
When are you coming here?
Just for some ice.
When are you coming here?
I'm just joking, man. I just
Oh,
wanna
you
be-
fucking asshole! Don't tell me with a good time.
Snow cones are good. Snow cones are good.
All right, JD.
You can find me Pigment Surgery on it, Instagram and Xbox Live. You can find me here on this wonderful channel here, various nights of the week.
No, you're not.
What?
You got Eric saying I'm coming in my house on Saturday. Yeah, right.
And Shelf Gravy. This week is a figure banging week, so
Shelf Gravy next week.
Yup.
All right. And Brink.
Abrinkalizer on Instagram, and then tune in here to this channel this week. You'll see me here, as JD mentioned. Tomorrow is figure banging. Ace is gonna surprise us. He says he's not getting a lot of toys in. I think he's lying. It doesn't have to be a Transformer, Ace. It could be anything.
That's true. Could be anything. And new time at that, right? 8:30 p.m. start time, I believe, now on the channel. So, hit that bell so you don't miss out. Gotta hit the bell for all notifications. And as for myself, Harrican BX on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, here Tuesday with these guys, Monday nights ETR, and occasionally at other times on this Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. Want to shout out the chat squad. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. You guys are awesome. Love you as always. Thanks for hanging. And as I said, we continue unbroadcasted, so look out for the link in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group. And with that, we'll just say peace out. All right, stay safe, guys. We'll see you next week.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
Yes.
What the?
Toodles. Say it with me now. Really?